A woman who wants her hijab to be accepted and to be considered a hijab, there are certain qualities it has to follow. So the first condition for the hijab is if a hijab is a form of adornment. Is that a hijab, my brothers and sisters? No. The idea of hijab is that people don't look at you. But if you're wearing a hijab where it's an adornment, you're beautifying yourself, you're making yourself look good. And that's what we see with a lot of our sisters. May Allah bless and honor them. But a lot of sisters, they buy a hijab because it looks good. It's very mashallah. The asl of the hijab, it should not be an adornment. The second condition is that it has to cover the entire body. The only part that is disputed is the face and the hands. The rest of the woman's body has to be covered. The only exception here is her face and her hands. Some of the scholars, they say that she also has to cover her face and her hands. And the other group of scholars, they say that she doesn't have to cover her face and her hands. Other than that, if you believe it's obligatory to cover your face and your hands, then you should cover your face and your hands. And if you don't believe it to be obligatory, then cover the entire other body. The entire what? Other body. So there is a difference. I say to sisters, research this issue, look at what the scholars have said on both sides, and inshallah ta'ala, don't follow your whims and desires, follow where you believe the truth lies. Me personally, my view, my stance on this issue is what? That the woman should cover her face and her hands. Because the beauty of a woman is what? It is her face. If you want to see a woman's beauty, it's not in her legs. It's in what? With you Gen Zs, things have changed now. But millennials, that's what we used to say and we believed. The beauty is the face, sah? So the woman should cover her face and also should cover her palms, her hands. Are we all together, brothers? That's the strongest opinion. But I am accepting that there is another valid opinion. Did I say valid? Another opinion that says that she doesn't have to cover it. But whatever the case may be, even the other side agree that it's highly recommended that the woman covers her face. The clothing that the woman is wearing, it should not be tight. It should be very, very loose. It has to be fadfad, very, very loose. It cannot be stuck to her body. It cannot be libasu shuhrah. It cannot be worn for fame. It can't be so that you stick out from the rest of the people. You wear it for that reason. Are we all together, brothers and sisters? And what might fall under that is, my brothers and sisters, certain colors that sisters wear that will attract everybody. People will look at her and say, everybody else is wearing black, and mashallah, this one sister's got a pink hijab. Are we all together? So this condition of the idea that the sister doesn't stick out, she conceals herself, it goes back to what we mentioned, the issue of what? As-sitru, to conceal yourself, to protect yourself from the evil that are out there. A woman, she's not allowed to put perfume on if she leaves the house. The Prophet, he told us in a hadith, any woman who leaves the house and she places perfume on herself, the Prophet, he said that she's a zaniya. She's a fornicator. So it's very dangerous that you place perfume on yourself and you leave the house. Be careful. That does not mean that you have to smell bad. It doesn't mean that. But it doesn't mean you have to smell or place on yourself perfume. Also, it shouldn't resemble clothing that men wear, for example. So a woman is not allowed to wear any clothing that one way or another resembles what men wear. So what some sisters do sometimes is that she's wearing a good jilbab, but she then on top of it would wear a jacket, for example. Fahimtum? Now what that does is that then now this shows the physique and the body. Are we all together, brothers? If you have to wear something because it's cold, then you're more than welcome to wear it, but wear it underneath your hijab. We're prohibited as Muslims not to imitate the non-Muslims. The Prophet ﷺ prohibited men to not dress like women and women not to dress like men, and we're also prohibited from not wearing what the non-Muslims wear. مَنْ تَشَبَّهَ بِقَوْمٍ فَهُوَ مِنْهُمْ. Anyone who imitates a group of people, he's verily from them. So we're prohibited from what? We're prohibited from imitating the non-Muslims. Now, also the clothing can't be transparent. It has to be very thick. Some sisters, they wear hijab, which is very soft and silky. And sometimes it's actually see-through. You can see her neck. This is not a hijab that she's wearing. The Prophet told us in a hadith, كَاسِيَاتٍ عَارِيَاتٍ مُمِيلَاتٍ مَائِلَاتٍ. The Prophet spoke about a group of women who dress a certain way. Basically, they place on top of their hair, they get their hair and they put it up. They put their hair up. So it's like she's got, you can see her hair on top. The Prophet called it كَأَسْنَمَةِ الْبُخْتِ. It's like the hump of the camel. Why is she doing that? So she can give you the impression or make you know that she's got a lot of hair. The Prophet, he said in that hadith, those women, they are wearing clothes, but they're not wearing clothes. So the scholars, they went different explanations. Some said the reason why they're wearing clothes, but they're not wearing clothes, is either the clothing is too tight, or that the clothing is see-through. Look what the Prophet said. He said, لا يدخلن الجنة. Those women will not enter Jannah. ولا يجدن ريحه. And they're not going to smell the fragrance of Jannah. وإن ريحها لا يوجد من مسيرة كذا وكذا. The smell of Jannah will be smelt from a very far distance. So my sisters, these conditions that we just mentioned, that we've put forward for you all, if you choose not to follow it, if you just dismiss it, if you ridicule it, if you say, I don't care, if you laugh at those who bring it to you, if you make it a gender war, wallahi, you're just going to harm yourself. This will not help you amam Allah ta'ala yawm al-qiyamah. Do not let shaitan play with your mind. Are we all together, brothers? In our religion, there are rules and regulations that need to be followed. Do the people choose not to follow it? No problem. How long are you going to live for? Live for as long as you live. You're going to come to Allah yawm al-qiyamah and you'll be accounted. This is not specific to the sisters. Even the men have matters of clothing that they need to observe as well. If brothers choose not to follow those rules and regulations as well, they have to respond to it the day of judgment with good answers and good explanation. وَإِلَّا سَيُحَاسِبُهُمُ اللَّهُ عَزَّ وَجَلَّ.